You see a puppy so soft, so unbearably round, that for one strange half-second you want to squeeze it until it pops. You would never actually do it. You'd be horrified with yourself if you did. Your hands are already curling anyway. So why does your brain answer the single softest feeling you are capable of with something that looks, from the outside, exactly like violence? You've said it out loud, whether or not you've ever thought about it. I could just eat you up. I want to squish it. Stop. I can't. People say some version of this to babies, to kittens, to their own grandchildren, while doing the least violent thing they will do all week. Nobody means it. Everybody says it. And for something that common, it took science a strangely long time to point an instrument at it. In 2015, researchers at Yale, led by Oriana Aragón, ran the experiment that finally measured it. They showed participants photographs of babies, some of them digitally adjusted to look more infantile, rounder cheeks, bigger eyes, softer features, and simply asked how the photos made them feel like acting. The more infantile the baby looked, the stronger the urge people reported to squeeze, or pinch, or bite something. And they weren't only reporting it. Researchers watched them actually clench their fists and grit their teeth while looking at the picture. The aggression wasn't random noise. It rose and fell in exact step with the cuteness itself, like a dial the researchers controlled. That's the part that stops it being a joke. A skeptic can reasonably say, "I could just eat you up," is only a figure of speech. The way people say a joke killed, or that they died laughing, without meaning a syllable of it literally. But Aragon's participants weren't just talking. The clenched fists were real. The gritted teeth were real. Both of them scaled up and down with a number the researchers were turning. That isn't a saying. That's a measurable physical reflex with a volume knob. So what is the reflex actually doing? In 2018, researchers Catherine Stavropoulos and Laura Alba at the University of California, Riverside, wired people's brains to an EEG and showed them cute babies, cute baby animals, and less cute adult animals. The stronger someone's reported urge to squeeze the cute images, the bigger the response in their brain's reward system. The exact same circuitry that fires for food, for money, for anything your brain files under good, want more of this. Cute aggression isn't your brain glitching into violence, it's your reward system overflowing so hard that it spills into an expression that looks, from the outside, like its own opposite. And that overflow has a job. An overwhelming enough dose of pure positive feeling is genuinely paralyzing. Think of anyone who has ever said a baby was so cute I can't handle it, and meant it as something close to real distress. Researchers believe expressions like this work as a pressure release valve, a small, harmless, negative-looking burst that drains off just enough intensity for you to function again, to actually pick the baby up, to actually do the caregiving the feeling was supposed to produce, instead of standing there frozen solid by your own joy. Once you know to look for it, you find the same mechanism everywhere. People cry at weddings, at graduations, at news so good they'd been hoping for it for years. People laugh, actual nervous laughter, in the seconds after they're told something wonderful. None of those reactions match the feeling that caused them, and that mismatch is the entire point. Your brain caps positive emotion the same way a kettle vents steam, not because anything is wrong, but because the pressure has to go somewhere, and sideways is safer than straight up. This is also where a few worries can be put down. It isn't a sign you're secretly cruel. The effect shows up strongest in the gentlest people, in new parents holding their own newborns, in the kind of person who cries at dog food commercials. It isn't a hidden aggression problem hiding under your personality, and it isn't rare or strange or yours alone. It's close to universal, and the people who feel it most intensely are, if anything, the ones with the most caregiving response to spare. It's still worth sitting with how strange the trade is. The single softest emotion you're capable of, pure, uncomplicated tenderness towards something small and helpless, doesn't come out of you looking soft at all. It comes out for 1/2 second, looking like the exact thing it exists to protect against. Your body reaches for the nearest expression strong enough to match the size of the feeling, and violence is simply the loudest one it keeps on the shelf. You didn't invent any of this, and neither did the scientists who finally measured it. Long before a single lab ran the experiment, Filipino culture already had a word for exactly this sensation, gigil. That specific, full-body, teeth-clenching urge to squeeze or pinch something almost unbearably cute. Not a metaphor, not a description of a metaphor. A single word for the precise feeling sitting in ordinary daily use for generations. It is old enough and precise enough that the Oxford English Dictionary formally added it in 2025, because English never had a word that meant quite the same thing and had to borrow one. An entire culture had named the feeling exactly, long before a brain scanner could show anyone what it looks like from the inside. The scanner only confirmed what the word already knew. So the next time a puppy, or a baby's laugh, or a kitten falling asleep mid-stretch makes your hands clench for no reason you can explain, that isn't a dark impulse surfacing from somewhere underneath. That's your reward system, completely full, doing the only thing it can do with a feeling that big, letting a little of it out sideways so that the rest of you can still work. At no point in any of this did you actually decide anything. The clenched fists arrive on their own, in the same half-second the cuteness does. The same reflex, whether you're a new parent, a stranger in an elevator, or someone who has never once in your life hurt anything on purpose. And an overwhelming feeling isn't the only thing that can quietly rewrite your experience without asking first. Wait until you see what your brain does to something even more basic than emotion, your own sense of time. In the instant everything actually goes wrong.